Hello, welcome back to the Nasty Metal Project channel here at YouTube, and of course, continuing with the Blood Feast Discography reviews. So, after releasing their debut full-length album in February of 1987 titled Kill for Pleasure, of course, knowing about the whole controversy behind Greenroll's distribution that pretty much halted the release of Kill for Pleasure. By the time Kill for Pleasure was released, the band already had some new songs written. So Ann Boleyn pretty much decided to ask the band to go back into the studio and record a EP. Technically, the EP only consists of one new original written song, one re-recording, and two remixes that were, of course, two songs from the Kill for Pleasure album that were remixed. I guess due to the, of the fucking, people saying it was too raw. I don't know, maybe critics, no clue. Maybe the band thought, that the mixing wasn't all that good. Even though I think it kind of added something to the, the Kill for Pleasure album. It really brought that, that real raw, youthful, sense. So, what we end up getting in December of 1987 was pretty much Face Fate. So, basically, again, the original song on here, the only new original is, of course, the kickoff track, which, of course, is Face Fate. While the second track is, of course, a re-recording of the song Bloodlust. This was the third and last time that the song was ever, re-recorded. And, of course, the two remixes, of course, are R.I.P. and Vampire. So, you may think that this was an unnecessary release, I guess, according to fucking Dan of the Colosseum, I guess. But if you ask me, this is very worthy of getting the two songs, which of course are Face Fate and the re-recorded version of Bloodlust, which is the preferred version of Bloodlust. It's a kick-ass version. Everything about the track of this version of Bloodlust just beats the shit out of the previous two versions. The one being on the band's 1985 demo when they were titled or under the name Bloodlust, and it also, of course, beats the version that was, of course, only on I guess some vinyl copies, maybe a Kill for Pleasure, but of course only the version of Bloodlust that was recorded for Kill for Pleasure mostly was used for cassette copies of that album. But the version that's on Face Fate is the best one. It's more aggressive, it's punchier, and it's everything bit that shows the band is definitely going in a more aggressive, more heavier style, definitely competing more with the likes of Slayer. And of course, Blood Feast have always been compared to Slayer in a way, and this really definitely, hell, it's actually better than anything I think Slayer was starting to release at that time, even though there's nothing wrong with, what Slayer released, like South of Heaven, even though that is a good album, I think. And of course, the new song, Face Fate, is a fucking kick-ass track. Again, the roots of death metal definitely show itself on here. Hell, fucking Face Fate ended up being covered by Sinister later on down the road. And of course, it's cool that a death metal band definitely paid respects to a band that definitely was a gateway to that genre that is definitely death metal. Basically, that's the only thing I think that's worth having of the sound is, of course, is the version of Bloodlust and Face Fate. Of course, I have to also talk about the remixes for R.I.P. and Vampire, which, yeah, they were kind of beefed up a bit because of on the Kill for Pleasure album, that raw sound was demo-ish, very thin in a way. These ones are a little more punchier, I guess you can say, but the thing is, while this was the first ever thing I ever purchased from, Blood Feast, it's of course the versions I end up listening to on like Kill for Pleasure are somewhat better. Because I like that sort of real raw, sort of, shitty sort of production. It just brings out something a little extra. But for here, the production that's given on Bloodlust and Face Fate, yeah, fucking great. In a way, as a whole, this is a very enjoyable EP. I love everything about this EP in a way. It's just straight to the point and everything. And yeah, just a damn good EP in a way. Of course, artwork still done by Drew Elliott. Still, nothing bad about this EP. One of my favorites from Blood Feast. After this, though, there would be a change in sound. And while it was definitely, I guess you can say, hinted on the songs such as Face Fate and Bloodlust, the band would end up taking on a whole different direction away, really getting a bit more technical a little down the road for their third and final release. So, definitely, I'll be getting into that. So, if you definitely have some memories behind, you know, Face Fate and whatever, you can definitely post your comments down below. Until then, I will be back here soon. So, see you later.